Hello, and welcome to another episode of Amazon Ads News and Insights. My name is Sai, and I'm a partner marketing manager here at Amazon Ads. Today, we're coming to you live from the Prosper Show in Las Vegas, where we've been connecting with many of our partners here. One session that kind of stands out that Xnurta is leading, and I kind of want to bring that conversation in here. So I'm joined today by David Liggins II from Xnurta,
Yes, sir.
and to talk through how partners can guide their clients through Amazon Marketing Cloud and full funnel strategies, whether it's onboarding new clients to AMC or looking to sharpen your approaches. So welcome, David.
Yeah, good to be here. Thank you, Sai.
Yeah, great to have you. All right, let's get into it, DL.
Yeah, let's get into it.
So you're working with partners and clients every day on AMC. What are some challenges? What are the biggest challenges you're hearing from your clients?
Sai, that's a good question. There's quite a few, to be honest with you. But if I had to think about this for the top three, I would say maybe the first one would be understanding how we call it, maybe channel combinations, right? Just to give a bit of context with that, this is just kind of understanding the customer's path, understanding the journey through their product portfolio, the brands, et cetera, that led to a conversion, for example, and understanding what that looks like. And so there's many things you can do there, but as they start to understand this, they can influence their strategy as well, right? We can talk a little bit more about that in a little bit. I would say the second one, and this is the big one, and this has been going on for quite some time. I would say looking beyond ROAS. We understand you spend $1, you want to get it back, right? We understand how business works, but ROAS is not the end-all be-all metric that we need to be focused on, and there's other metrics that we can focus on that can kind of dictate and influence our strategies as well, right? So when we talk about ROAS, it's not necessarily the immediate ROAS that we typically see, but it's also looking at the lifetime ROAS for consumable brands and products and things like that nature that have a high repurchase value. I would say that'd be a critical important thing. And that's one thing I would say I stress on that's very difficult to change the consumer mind or change the brand's mind and leadership's mind on the value of looking beyond just immediate ROAS. And the last one I would say ASI or Amazon Shopping Insights. And what is Amazon Shopping Insights? These are signals that can help us understand the competitiveness of the category, categorical signals, et cetera, that allows us to more strategically activate more advanced media strategies. Xnurta is doing some really cool things with that information, which I'm sure that we'll talk about a little bit later, but this is critically important. So if the brand is not leveraging FSI and ASI data, which they should be, this really helps you be able to activate your media, especially understand not only ad attributed new to brand data, but also non-shopper exposed data, and also new to brand non-ad attributed data as well. So when you have those three pieces of information combined with some of your 1P signals and information, that allows you to really strategically activate your media across the full funnel, right? And understand the business in entirety.
Yeah, I mean, for sure, I think these are all very valid and kind of solidifies what we are hearing from partners as well. So I say let's tackle them one at a time and
sure.
dive a little deeper into each of them. So the first challenge you mentioned was around proving which channel combinations outperform single tactics. So how's Xnurta approaching this?
There's quite a few ways we can do this, but AMC or Amazon's Marketing Cloud is going to be really the key to unlock this data, right? It really bridges the gap between information and between sponsored ads and DSP, which is a demand side platform, to allow more strategic decisions in the way that you activate your media and also target specific, customers, et cetera. So that's really going to be the unlock, and that's why we're really kind of stressing on this. This is going to be the foundation of the way that you do advertising here moving forward, right? We have that information, so how do we leverage that? In this particular case, maybe path to conversion could be one thing, right? So this allows us to understand, again, those touch points, right? Whether it be sponsored brands, products, or display that allows us to understand, and DSP that allows us to understand how customers are engaging with our advertising, and that led them to that detail page and a purchase, right? And so understanding that allows you to really focus on strategies throughout that funnel, right? Whether it's lower funnel tactics, mid funnel consideration tactics, or upper funnel tactics when we're talking about driving new to brand customers, for example.
Yeah, I think what I'm getting is we want to show clients this full picture rather than evaluating each channel in isolation,
Yes.
right?
Yes, absolutely. Full channel instead of looking at things in an isolation. So there may be some single tactics, single ad tactics that you may have, but we do know that multiple touch points really help engage that customer to make the purchase decision, and it helps inform them. There's many different things you can do between sponsored brand video, online video, streaming TV. There's a plethora of different ways and media that you can activate in order to kind of engage that customer. And so instead of focus on these single tactics, what are the combinations of these tactics that you can leverage that would help engage that customer the best way, right? There's quite a few things here that you can leverage. Path to conversion I mentioned. There's an overlap analysis that you can look at. There's multi-touch attribution. And these things that I can go in a little bit more detail here in just a second allows you to really get these strategic insights that allows you to really kind of target customers in the most optimal way.
Yeah, I really like this thinking and an example of a holistic measurement. So let's move on to the next challenge, ROAS, or rather, what's outside of ROAS.
Yes, understood. Yeah, for sure.
So how can we help clients understand what to track beyond ROAS? What should partners be surfacing?
There's a couple things here. One of the big things is also looking at lifetime value ROAS as well, right? And so there's a couple business cases that I'll bring up here so you can understand, or use case I could bring up here to help you understand that. But when you're talking about ROAS, it's not just that immediate ROAS and the return on that dollar, right? Which we typically see because of the attribution with sponsored ads, right? Between sponsored products where a lot of people spend are versus a DSP where the attribution model is a little bit different. And so lifetime value helps you understand, again, with the power of AMC, helps you understand how that customer coming back to repurchase as well, right? And so if you can understand how they're navigating through your product portfolio, you can identify hero products, for example, the key products for your particular brand, that allows you to figure out how to engage with the rest of your products within your product portfolio and strategically target them again. And so as we start to break up our strategy full funnel, we want to focus on, again, getting new to brand, helping that potential customer understand and consider your particular product, and then also maybe there's some retargeting tactics that we can add in there as well. To take one step back here, one of the things that we've actually implemented quite a few of this, but it was one of our partners, Hey Bike. And so just to speak to that particular case study, we were able to increase their sales 30% or hit their Q4 goal 30% within just 4 days over Black Friday, Cyber Monday. And the thing about this is that with this particular goal, they faced saturation in that category. There's different more competitors, et cetera, getting a little bit more competitive, increased costs with your ads. I may be speaking, preach to the choir here, but there's a lot of things that makes it more difficult and challenging for you to advertise in this ever-growing space, right? But we know that it still works. And so with the path to conversion, the overlap analysis, the activation with some of the videos and video ads allows us to hit those particular metrics in lockstep as well.
So I think in one sentence, instead of reporting your campaigns drove X sales, you're showing clients, here are the customers we brought in and here's why they're valuable long term.
Yeah, another model that we typically use is our new to brand model. And so again, these are models that we help our partners leverage very easily because we understand that there is a hurdle to leveraging AMC data. And Amazon has made it easier. Tech partners like Xnurta has made it easier, and this allows us to get that power from like the data scientists down to that particular advertiser as well to help them strategically activate on that as well. So when we talk about new to brand customers, how do we bring them into the funnel, which allows them to engage with our brand, to be informed about our brand and also our products, and then make that purchase decision. So with these models, like the new to brand model, along with our multi-touch attribution, now you can hone in on that funnel strategy, whether it be awareness, consideration, or a brand of loyalty, retargeting strategy to understand how effective your campaigns are at driving new to brand, because ultimately that's how you gain incrementality as well. And with the addition of the FSI and ASI data that allows us to privacy safe, target customers based on their behavior and be more optimized and strategic with lower funnel tactics so we can move those dollars up to consideration in their awareness funnel to drive more top line growth and incremental growth for that brand.
Yeah, I think you've really shown us how you're tackling and helping your clients with these first two challenges. You briefly mentioned ASI, which I think is what we're going to go into next, and the last challenge that we'll be diving a little deeper into. ASI, Amazon Shopping Insights. So how are
Yes.
you putting that to work at
Oh
Xnurta?
man, I'm really excited about this. ASI data. This is really cool because again, Amazon is giving us data now, right? Again, in a safe way. It's anonymized. We won't be able to identify anybody or anything like that, but it really helps us align on different signals early on within that category and competitors in that particular space, so we can understand how we can target and activate that media in the right way. And Xnurta has developed a very unique way that helps us identify maybe high value behaviors, right? High affinity behaviors based on how customers are, shopping within Amazon. And if you align this with your first party data as well, which you can do with AMC, you can understand not only that customer journey and the unique audiences and signals that we get from Amazon, but you can also align that with your customer base as well. So now that really gives you an advantage when you're talking about targeting audiences that align with your brand. And that's really the name of the game, right? And just to elaborate on that, we understand that Amazon can be more competitive, and we get that, right? And you're going to face new entrants and new competitors each and every day. And so what you need to do is, again, leverage AMC to be more effective in the way that you target, leverage the ASI and FSI data that allows you to hone in on some of these advanced signals that you can get. And then now you can start to create audiences and target them in the most effective way possible, right? And that's going to be the measure of success going forward. And if you're not really leveraging AMC, you're going to be behind the curve when it comes to advertising in 2026 and beyond.
Yeah, I like how you phrased that, and that's definitely a compelling framework, especially for partners, who want to show up as strategic advisors rather
Yes.
than just campaign managers, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah. Anyway, to wrap, can you give us some advice for partners who want to start activating these use cases today?
Yes, yes. I don't think this is a hot take anymore, but you have to leverage AMC. You have to do it. And DSP is no longer just an upper funnel tactic. You can be very strategic in the way that you activate your advertising with DSP. You have to use full funnel. AMC allows you to really bridge the gap between data with with sponsored ads and DSP, right? It bridges that gap to help you understand the customer, understand how people are engaging with your products throughout your product portfolio. Helps you be more effective and efficient with your advertising dollars, and we all need to do that. So, I say it once and I say it again, you have to leverage AMC and be experts in those signals and that data. And that's one of the things that Xnurta prides itself on. We understand that this is challenging, and so we pride ourselves at being educators in the space. I think that we were one of the best users of AMC, and we've shown this throughout the years as well. So if there's one thing you take away from this conversation, Sai, is you must leverage AMC going forward with your advertising.
Yep, that's an excellent note to end on. Thank you so much for sharing all these
Absolutely.
insights today and how
Yeah.
Xnurta is tackling these challenges.
Thank you for having me.
And to our viewers, thank you for joining. That's all the time we have for today. We have resources linked in the comments below, as mentioned before. So if you're working through any of these challenges with your clients, reach out to your Amazon Ads partner contact, and we're here to help you build the right approaches. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time on another episode of In the Know.